Alrighty, looks like I'm live, so hopefully everything goes well today. I'm just turning on an extra light, hopefully that will help. I'll just wait for a couple of people to hop on and see if that helps. A bit of extra light. Okay. So what I'm going to use today is I'm using a thread called Mirage from Wonderful. It's called Mirage. It's going to be back to front because we're selfie mode. Mirage is 1330 a reel, and it's a lovely 30 weight variegated thread from Wonderful. This is colour number 26. That's that one. That's the one I'm going to use, but they've got many colours. They're lovely. And I'm also going to use my Soline pen to draw on the areas I want to draw. This will all relate to this afternoon. This afternoon we're going to do a design, and all these today will help relate to that class in at the Great Australian Craft Show. So hopefully you're going to join me there as well. And I've got my black fabric because I'm going to use black today, so I can see my variegated thread nicely, and you can see what I'm doing as well. So I've got my thread threaded, I've got my needle in, I've had a sample go. So sample wise, I'll try and see if I can get that stitches nice. It might be a bit fuzzy because it's got to zoom in to that area. There we go. That's it there. It's going to look fluffy because all the lights are on there. I'm just going to try and get comments. I can see the comments coming through. Hi Rado, Karen, oops, a daisy, I double tapped. There we go. Oh, I did it again. Let's try again. There we go. Hello from Colombia. Got Jill as well. All right, so what I'm going to do, and if you're going to join along with me, you can do this at home easily. So we're going to do a circle of some sorts, and you can see it's just a circle. It's nothing fantastic. It's not even, and I'm going to put another circle in the center. Now, first things first is we're going to bring up our bobbin thread. We're going to put our needle down, and I'm going to put it down at the start of the little circle in the inside. And I'm just going to remind my daughter who's in the back there not to bump the table too much because it'll bump the camera. And I'm going to put my needle down again and just knot that little bit of fabric in there. I'm going to move the camera a bit so you can see a little bit more. Let's try that one. I might just wiggle it down, and there. Get in closer, and I'm just going to zoom, so excuse my hands. Zooming in. Let's see if we can get that in there. All right, so hopefully you can see this. Hello Terry. So now I've got my thread down, I've got my needle down, I've got everything sorted, I've got my machine in the right speed, because I use my stop start button. I actually don't use a foot, so it sort of works as a regulator, so that I can actually, because my hand movements are generally the same each time I do it, so I tend to find that if I keep my speed on, you know, the little arrows on the little slide, I keep them the same, then I tend to get a very regulated stitch. It's quite good. So I do that, and that way it's one less motor skill I have to think of. I don't have to think about my feet and what they're doing. Then I've got my tension set at about 5, so fingers crossed that works all right with this thread. And I'm just going to press my start button, and I'm going to come up here and do a little wiggly line, and then come down and stop. So my first one is, just so we can't see it very well yet, is like that. Oh, hang on, let me adjust the camera again. There we go. So I've come up from the center and I've come up and I've done a bit of a wiggly line and come back to that little circle in the middle. All right. And then I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to keep going, and because it's variegated, it's going to change. Each petal's going to be a little different, which is just lovely. But I find the circle with the outside and then the little one on the inside gives me a bit of a stop-start position, and it helps with my placement of and where I start and finish and how big my little petals are going to be. I've got my gloves on too, my wonderful gloves that I love. Petals don't have to be the same. They can be, you know, different shapes and stuff like that. They don't have to be exactly the same. And then I'm going to fill that last one up with a nice petal there and come down to the center. Now, what I'm going to do with the center is do little circles. Now I have to, if you can see, my foot has got a bit of a gap between it now in the fabric. So my foot needs to go down a little bit more. I like it to just sit a little bit lower, and that's only because I've been stitching it. It's pushed the fabric down. So little circles there, and they'll be all variegated. Quite cute. So you go one way and then the other way. Go to the left and then to the right. Go to the left. It's more like a figure eight. And we're just going to fill that up with this. So filling up. Alright, and once we've done those centre bits, and I'll come in closer with the camera once I've finished a little bit, we're now going to do these little lines. So the centerpiece, those circles will be, I'm just trying to find a spot where you can see. So over here, so I've gone one way and then back around the other. Then I'll come around it again and do another way. Come around and another way. Right around, come over here. So it's not really a circle and a circle and a circle. It's more like figure eights. So I'm just trying to make sure. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. Now, once I've gone, so what I've actually done now, say that's my circle, my center bits. I've done these petals here, okay? So that's what they look like in my stitching, just pretty rough, but that'll give you an idea. My next thing is, once I'm in here, is to do these little lines here. So I'm going to come across and do those. All right, so next step, we do little straight lines back and forth. Doesn't matter if I stitch over other things, it's not really a big deal. We're just going to make it nice and sketchy and decorative. Just keep zigzagging across long ones and short ones. So do a short one and a long one, another long one there, and a short one. Yep, one. Okay. So I'm just sort of going across it. Like I say, it doesn't matter if it gets into the little circles and scratches them up. It just adds to the character. So up, back, up, back until I get to where I started. All right, so you can see that I've got them going all the way around there. Now, what I want to do is I also want to put these little lines here. Now, I could have done that when I first started, or I can come in and do them now. So I'm going to come back up, same line I was on, and I'm just going to do a little line here and a little one there. Come down, back up, a little one there, and a little one there. Add a little bit more character because of the variation. So that one, that one, that one. And it'll make it a bit thicker too. So we keep going. Down there. I mean, you don't have to use variegated thread. You can use any colour you like. I just wanted you to be able to see that with a lovely variegated 30 weight thread, how beautiful it can look. And I love that yellow that's popped in there just then. Okay, then I'm going to stop and cut off. Hi from Tassie. How are you, Terry? All right, so that is flower number 1. All right, so let me just see if I can get that into the camera. There we are, flower number 1. All right, so once you've done flower number 1, and if you've got one of these pens, you can get rid of your lines fairly quickly because it's got an eraser on the back of it, which I like. And then my lines are gone. I'm going to just take that one away just for now. Have a little remnant of it. Now, excuse me. If I want to start another one, have a flower next to it, I can have it facing a different direction. So say my next flower is going to be more face on, because that flower that I just did, that looks like it's sort of facing in that direction, doesn't it? It sort of looks like it's going up that way, so the stem would come down here. So this one's going to be face on, so we're going to do that. Hi from Perth, Tasmania. Love to watch you sew. Oh, thanks, Lynette. Have I said I'm sorry, I don't speak Brazilian. I wish I did. Okay, what's that question up there? Great to see people from wide and far across the globe. Yes, it's awesome, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Hi, Michelle from Bundaberg. Hi, Brenda. How you going? So this one's going to be facing more towards me. Again, I've done my circle with another circle right in the middle. And I'm going to start, just pull that thread a little bit more. I might give it a bit of a trim. It's got a bit of a fluffy bit there. I'm going to try and bury it if I can. I might cut that off in a minute. And I'm just going to start, there we go, just buried it for me. I'm just going to start and do another one exactly the same, but this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do my little lines in the top part of these while I go around. So I'll start up on one, and then I do a little wiggle and down, do a little wiggle down, and a wiggle and come down into the center. So up, a little wiggle, down, a little wiggle, a bit of a bigger one this one, and down into the center. Back up, a little wiggle, down, down, and back into the center. Up again, wiggle, wiggle, and down into the center. Up, wiggle, down, down, and down to the center. Okay, they look like little toes. Okay, back into the center. I've got room for one more. Down, down, and back into the center. All right, so I've done my little out bits already. Hi, Rita. Thank you. And I'm going to do my little circles. So here we go. And I haven't got my machine going overly fast. Because it's a variegated thread and it's a little bit thicker, I don't want to shred it all the time. So I want to give the thread a bit of a break and be kind to it. It wouldn't surprise me if it did shred a little, being a thicker one, but so far so good. It seems to be a lovely, lovely thread, and it's got a very nice sheen to it too. Alright, so we've done those little circles in the centre. Now I'm going to do the little scratchy bits around. So off we go, little scratchy bits, just to give it a bit of shape. Up, little one, bigger one. And all of a sudden it just takes, instead of it looking like little toes, it now looks like a flower. And another one. Like a heartbeat, you know. Up one, down for two, and up one, up two. There we go. Up one, up one. Okay. So, and that creates another flower. It does look a little different. I'll just show you now, because I've done those at the same time. So personally I prefer this one to this one, but it is a very similar process. So now I've got these stems, so oops a days, got to put the foot down, and I'm going to just sew that there, travel along, sew that there, and I might even come in and just do a bit of a leaf just to fill in that area. And I'm going to come up through the centre, back down, up again, and then over to the other side, up there, back down, up again, right up to the top and back down the other side, and that gives you a nice leaf, nice variegated leaf. Having the stop start button and speed regulator makes a huge difference. I think. Love these functions. Yeah, look, Melissa, I actually could not believe once I started using it why I hadn't done it for so long, honestly, because it just makes life so much easier. People get a bit frightened of it when they first start because they're used to having the foot control. But once you get your head around it, it is brilliant. So look at this already. So I'm just going to bring the camera around. Oh, a bit wobbly. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? So let's do another E. Now, if I want one to face this direction, I need to do my circle oval. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. And I'm going to have it, I'm going to actually make it so that it is just off center. So there's your center. So I've just made it come, I might even make it a little bit more forward, about there. All right. I have never used it. Oh, I love it, Terry. Love it. So this one's going to face downwards. So in starting with needle down, I've buried my thread. And because it's an art piece or it's going to go in a bag or something like that, it doesn't matter how nasty the back looks. Unless you're going to enter it into a show, no one's going to care. So up we go, do a little wiggle, and back into the center. Up again, back into the center. And we just keep going. Here, and because I'm coming around a bit of a corner, I'm keeping them a little bit tighter. One there, and one there. Again, a little wiggle. Hopefully you can see all this. So if you can join me a little bit later, you'll get to see how we do this and make it into a big, you'll get to do that design that I drew. Okay, and come in, speed hasn't changed. I love my gloves. Those who've received their gloves, do you love them? I love them. I have plenty in stock. I've kept them at 36. They should be now at the 42 mark because of the Australian dollar and everything. But I decided not to because I thought I'll just pop that on the chin. Because I think that, you know, life's dear enough as it is. And if everyone can get a pair of these gloves into their sewing kit, they'll be so much happier. And that's sew with an S-E-W. Okay, so I'm following the actual line of those petals with those little squiggly bits in the centre there. I could start shredding some thread in a minute by the sounds of it, or it could be the bobbin getting low. And I'm keeping the ones in the front here a little bit lower, a little bit more scratchier. And I'm going to put that on there. There, we're going to just thicken that up a little. And we're going to come up and we're going to do those little ones here. There we go. So you don't actually get that drawing unless you're doing the class. That's a part of the class. I've drawn it specifically for that. And it comes in a PDF, and you can draw it straight onto your fabric, or you can print it onto your fabric, however you like to do it. Trace it on, whatever suits. Oh, that looks like a toe. Let's get rid of that. Little movements, there's nothing, no big sweeping motions here. Come back down. Just going to go back over a couple of these places, and you'll notice, you know, I've missed spots and things like that, but it's no biggie. Once you've done this whole piece, especially after you do the one, you won't even see those little indiscretions. They are literally adding to the character of it. Trust me. No one's going to sit there and go, oh, she didn't go straight on that line. You know, that looks crap. They're just going to go, oh my God, how did you do that? You're amazing. I need to order 2 pairs for some friends. Love mine. They're amazing, aren't they? Okay, so I'm just going to move the camera. Oh, I've just got to find it now. There we go. There they are. Alright, let me just... Up there we go. And I'll unzoom. So bear with me while I try to do this one-handed. I think that's... Oops, a daisy, wrong way. I'm hopeless. Alright. I can't even do that. Hang on. Let me go. There we go. There we go. Alrighty, so there you are. There's a couple of fleurs, and I've done it with variegated thread, and it looks amazing, right, isn't it? So, and simple steps, and all I did was draw a circle with a circle, and that gave me the direction of where I needed to sew. So if you want to learn more about these, plus more things that we're going to do, 2:30 today and Saturday, sign yourself up at Craft Alive, which is www.craftalive.com.au, and I will see you at 2:30 this afternoon, and even on Saturday you'll come and do a second one. So this afternoon or today I'll be doing little bits and pieces of this to entice you into coming into the class, because it is fantastic and we do learn a lot. Okay, so I will see you guys. The next class today I think is at 12:30, so I'll see you in about an hour and a half, and I might even have some more ideas for you. See you then. Bye.